Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
Folks in Franklin are already showing their appreciation for our veterans early into the Memorial Day weekend. The local Lodge 72 of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, along with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Franklin Post 4892, they started setting up flags this evening. For the third year in a row, those volunteers placed flags on the graves of vets at the Williamson Memorial Garden. The groups want to make sure we remember the holiday weekend for the right reasons.
It's important to remember on Memorial Day those who have fallen, that the freedoms we enjoy still today are bought with the bloods of patriots, and we need to remember them.
To find out more about Memorial Day events going on in your community this weekend, check out our website, newschannel5.com.
Memorial Day is for all veterans from all wars who have deceased and no longer walk on this earth. And this year, I'd like to dedicate this Memorial Day service to my brother who I lost in Vietnam, and also to all the MIAs. The MIAs are the people who are missing in action. Their families never knew whatever happened to them. And so this goes out to them. Since the inception of Memorial Day, more than 100 years ago, many words have been written and many words have been spoken on behalf of countless others who fought and died and relinquished the precious gift of life so that others could live free. This year, once again, we try to compose fitting words to suitably honor the absent. We struggle to find the right words to appropriately convey our gratitude and appreciation for the gift of freedom they have given us. In our hearts, we know that our missing friends and comrades are deserving of every honor and acknowledgement a grateful nation can provide. But to all things that we can do, the very least is to hold the memory of them close to fulfill the promise and the poignancy of their sacrifices. We gather not only as a nation wholly united in solemn remembrance of the defenders of our republic, but also as a people who have been wounded by war. But as in the past, even though we mourn for what has been lost, there comes a need to move forward. Although wounded, we shall heal. As we mend, we needn't look back and think about what might have been, but we will look forward to the future and think what yet is to come. Throughout our nation's history, we have been blessed to have persons who were generally committed to something larger than them, people who understood duty for the greater good. The noble defenders of our nation have performed the highest form of public service. The men and women serving in today's military continue that tradition and service, and for that we are deeply grateful. Those who are in today's military force face a world that is fraught with change and challenge. As they thrust onto the boiling cauldron of war and conflict, we must care for them and their families. We have an obligation to do so. For us to do anything less would diminish and cheapen the sacrifice of more than 1 million patriots who have died in defense of our country. They are the reason we, as a nation, are unique among all nations of the world. Our friends and comrades, the defenders of our nation, understood the price of freedom with courage, and conviction. They did what was demanded. They answered the call. There is no better way to honor these who have done more than you or I, those did more than any of us, than to capture the essence of what they have given today and draw upon it to strengthen our spirit as a nation. Many people from across the world stand united in remembrance of today. We speak in one voice with shared admiration and respect and in thanks. The freedoms we enjoy today were purchased at the expense of human life. The sum total of those who were as a nation and as a people is mirrored in their sacrifices. Walk in the hallowed ground amongst the final resting places of our nation's best and brightest, and you will come to understand that every grave, every marker bears a name. Every name represents a person who was loved by someone and who was loved someone in return, a person with hopes and dreams. We stand united in our grief, and we grieve alongside their loved ones and share equally in their sense of loss. Gone from someone's life are sons and daughters, husbands, wives, sisters, brothers, everyday heroes. They love their families, their friends, and their country. This is a day to cherish their memory and to celebrate their courage and deeds of all veterans who have served the nation. Let us give thanks every day to the lives for them. We are fortunate to have been able to know, and even if it were only for a blessed, brief, shining moment, that we are connected by spirit and treasure memories of the departed friends. As well, they have rightfully earned our gratitude, our respect, and a place of honor amongst us. And we will work to instill and keep their honor, for that is how the honor is kept. As we pay tribute to our absent friends, let us determine today, this special day, to ensure those who have best earned it, our veterans, the proper medical care for their wounds and infirmities. In closing, let me be more determined to see to it that no man or woman who has served to be homeless, unemployed, sick. If we truly want to honor the dead, then we must help the living. All of us can have a hand in demanding our nation's veterans receive the benefits and entitlements they have earned and deserve. Let us resolve right now, today, just to do just that. I would urge everyone to be steadfast in your commitment to the veterans of the United States of America. Thank you for being here today, and God bless America. And please keep our veterans in our prayers. They are throughout the world at this point, some facing dangers, others not, but please keep them in our memories. I thank you very much for this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. That was a great dissertation. How many veterans do we have here today? Please raise your hand. Fred Graham, please raise your hand. Let's hear a round of applause for all of our veterans. We want you to know how grateful we are for your service to our country and how lucky you are to have completed your service to our country with your lives intact. Today is the day we honor our fallen veterans. I'd like for everybody to please remove their hats and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance